Sit back, relax, put your belt on, enjoy the show.
That takes us on to the next game. The Hurricanes and the Crusaders Sunday afternoon game. Fantastic. We're not going to get our lineups for our trade night tomorrow night. How good's that?
Cargie, let's just sum this up. Crusaders by how much?
We said that last week, did we not?
Yeah, but now the Crusaders don't lose 2 in a row. They win by 100 the second following week.
That is true. If you're a long-time listener, you will have heard us say this many times before. When the Crusaders lose, you hate to be the next team that's playing them because they do come out with all fire and vengeance and they crush everyone. So going to be tough for the Hurricanes. It is at home in Wellington for them, but yes, it's going to be the full wrath of a full-strength Crusaders team. Harry, we've only got one player returning in this one?
Yeah, well, Safra Moore is coming back from his AC joint injury. We expect him to play probably straight off the bench, considering Coles is in pretty red-hot form. I did double-check Tom Sanders as well, the Colonel. He obviously had that cheek fracture early on. The competition was gone for 6 weeks. And all I found was a title, Chefs Struggle to Uncover the Secret KFC Recipe After Being Set Task. So they're hard at work trying to find out what the Colonel's up to, but at the moment, no more news.
I like it.
Very good. And I'm not sure if Sanders is back, if he's much of a chance of starting with, Cullen Grace, Blackadder and Vetu Douglas all kind of in front of him, you have to think. But certainly that chicken recipe, I am interested in it. So anyway, this one, talking about the teams, I guess selection issues, the Crusaders. I mean, we'll talk about it last week. Let's just start on the big one, close to my fantasy team. Leicester Fainganuku started again last week. Is that it? I mean, I was bold and I held him past the bye, and he did start last week, but this could be it.
Look, I mean, they were talking about giving Bridge a chance on both wings. I think you were lucky to have Leicester Fainganuku last match out. I think at this point, I'd be putting my money he's on the bench. Covers 13 as well. We see Bridge and Reese on the wings. You know, the guys that should be there and should have always been there. But I'd also happily see Reese drop the other side completely just for this week.
You mean the starting All Black wingers starting for the Crusaders? Yeah, I mean, I can see it, but...
And I mean, we know where your head stands here, Cargie, because you were trying to sell Fainganuku for 10 cents on the dollar.
Yeah. Mate, 3 weeks ago, I was trying to sell him for anything, but no bites, unfortunately. So,
Billy Proctor, Peter Umaga Jensen, anything changing on that one, guys?
Mate, I don't have any idea what's going on there. Clearly, Peter Umaga Jensen is about a zillion times better than Billy Proctor, the All Black Peter Umaga Jensen, but... I don't know if there's some disciplinary issues or something. He hasn't even got the time to light it up when he gets on the field.
Well, I was going to say Umaga Jensen did get something like 30 minutes this week. So it was he didn't continue that slide down because I think he played as little as 9 the week before that. So they had completely lost faith. Yeah. So I'm hopeful that this is the week that he actually plays more than 40 minutes by starting the game.
I mean, they are very different players. Billy Proctor is a lot faster, and if you believe the coaches, the brother of and possibly the fastest player in New Zealand rugby. It's the best centre, not the fastest. The best centre in New Zealand rugby. But they do bring different stuff. But Peter Umaga Jensen just brings heaps more stuff and is a much better player.
I honestly thought you were going to say they're really different players because Peter Umaga Jensen
is good.
He's good.
Full stop. True. Julian Sevilla and Wes Husson. I think we can agree that Ray Arcee's locked down that left wing 11 jersey. Sevilla versus Husson. Who are we going to see? Husson.
I'd like to see Sevilla. I don't think we've had much of a consistent sort of performance from Husson this year, but I mean, in previous years he's been so good. I mean, I could see this going either way, but for my fantasy team, I'll say Sevilla starting.
No, Sevilla starting. I'm with you. I don't want him to because you've got him and I'm playing him this week, but I think he'll start.
Very good. Any other changes I think we see? So, yeah, I think you're right. Safra moves straight to the bench. That's going to be some pretty good impact. I don't know. I mean, Auburn Ledger has really just been, a number on the field. Haven't really seen much more than that from him. I personally would like to see, I don't know, I've said it a few times before, but Geordie at 10, mate, they've got Lalagi Vicinea sitting on the bench. He's only I thought he was much older. He's
Not
only
even on the
20.
bench, mate. What do you mean? He's not sitting on the bench.
Sorry, he's not even on the bench, but he's fit. Mate, I thought he was much older. I thought he was like coming back after a career overseas in his 30s. He's 28. Mate, he was sick. Get him on there.
He's absolutely nowhere near that side. Ruben Love is a better chance to start at 10 than Vicinio to get in the 23.
I 100% agree.
Well, that's BS, and probably correct. So, all right. Any other points? I mean, so the Crusaders, look, yep, they'll come out firing. They'll go back to what they know, apply pressure, territory. Do they take points against the Hurricanes early, knowing, well, they just go all out?
This is statement time. This is statement time.
I mean, Geordie obviously will be taking points from everywhere on the field. The Hurricanes will.
Anything within 60. 65 maybe.
But the
To be honest,
Crusaders,
the Hurricanes could keep the scoreboard ticking over because the Crusaders are the most heavily penalised side. So I actually think that they're in a bit of strife with that.
yep. All right. Any other points? I'm kind of out of ideas here, but
No, look, I think the Crusaders are going to win this through their forwards and just present their lethal backs with just such a good platform. You know, these players are going to come out firing after last week. I feel sorry for the Canes. They better get lots of opportunities, and Geordie Barrett better lift his kicking percentage from distance because he's going to have to take absolutely everything within 65 metres to be able to have any chance to be in this match.
do you reckon Geordie Barrett just puts in for some annual leave or something this week, goes and plays golf instead over the weekend? You know, just saves himself the trouble. I don't know, but
Good move.
I think the one thing I would say is I think Artie Sevilla is starting to look a little bit tired. It's not often that he doesn't look like he just wants to destroy every single player on the field, including his own, but he just starts to look like he's getting a bit tired and a bit exhausted with the weight of carrying this team.
I'm fairly sure this is Harry's reverse psychology strategy. He's trying to rev Artie up for a big game this weekend, really stick it to Nelson. He's trying to tell. He's hoping Artie obviously is a big listener of our podcast, so he's hoping that he really gets to him and revs him up.
Look, Artie, his return from injury, so it's probably a bit rough last season, but he was quiet for a handful of games and then had a chunk of games afterwards where he's really solid and consistent. So it's been a while since he's had to actually, you know, fight it out for a full season. Last year was very, very disrupted, you know, not just because of COVID, actually because of his injuries as well. So, I mean, he's doing a lot for that team. He's having to have big matchups week in, week out. So he might be a little bit fatigued.
Very good. All right, 2 tips for this game. First tip is, will Duplessis Karifi get a yellow card, yes or no?
Yes.
2.
Good, excellent. And tip for the result of this game, don't need to tell me which team you think is going to win. Just the score would be fine. I'm going to go the team that is going to win by 15. Nelson?
I'm going to be big here. I'm going to say 25.
Oh!
I'm just looking at the line. The line is 9.5 points. Get your asses on it, guys.
That is ridiculous.
You guys...
look, 14 points. 14.
Yeah, your partner should be worried. You guys are looking at second mortgages right now. But, yeah, just be careful, boys, all right? Very good.
Second mortgages.
Harry, don't unless you're showing us your losses as well, mate. Don't show us anything, all right? No. Now, that will round out our previews.